Hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot. This is the tarot reading for serious minded people and curious people, which may explain why you're serious minded. I have come to the conclusion, after being around for several decades, that the determination of real intelligence is curiosity. Not the degrees that you have, not the letters after your name. Those don't mean a damn thing. Oh, I know. We're told, we're brainwashed into thinking that, Bachelor of Science isn't as good as a Master of Science, isn't as good as a PhD or MD. That's bullshit. All of it is bullshit. It's a game. It's a game to pigeonhole people. There have been several studies done to determine creativity in a human being. All of them started with children who were 5, followed up that group till they were 10, 15, 20, graduated college. I think there were 3. There may be 4, but I'm pretty sure there were 3 studies. What they found was that the 5-year-olds had tremendous creative potential. 98% had genius potential. 98% of kindergartners. But that number kept dropping. At 10, there were fewer. At 15 years of age, there were fewer. At 20 years of age, there were fewer. And by the time they graduated from college, maybe had a PhD, MD, the genius factor, the creativity factor, down to less than 2%. So you get kindergartners, most of them have genius potential, creativity potential. And by the time they finish with college, almost none of them have it. This is a game. So if you're here, you've been able to sidestep a lot of that. Yeah, you may have letters after your name, but that's just alphabet shit. That doesn't mean anything. It's a system that's rigged, and this is one of the ways that they rig it. So, you have overcome some serious social learning issues. You still have your creativity. You still have your curiosity. That's why you're here. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Because this is a tarot reading unlike any other. I've done tarot for over 20 years. And I have never, ever heard a reading like this. It's different because, well, first of all, we're doing it on the internet. You see your screen, there are 4 tarot cards and 1 card in the middle. That's the oracle card. That's it. I don't have to throw out a bunch of cards because all that is confusion. It muddies the waters. Pardon the musical reference. But the point of the matter is the more choices you have, the more confused you have, the more confused the message. You don't need that. It's not necessary. So we have 4 tarot cards. I combine that information into a single frequency. And I'm helped out by the oracle card in the middle. That way, by the time we're done with the reading, which takes about 15 minutes, you have a very clear, concise idea of what the energy is. Now, you have to decide how you're going to use it, how you're going to apply it. It's going to be different for everybody. I also, along with the tarot, have 50, that's 50 years of doing astrology and numerology. And I will refer to those not from an astrological reading perspective, because frankly, most astrological readings, including my own, by the way, are useless. Too much gobbledygook, too many words, too many verbiage. We got this expression, that we got a conjunct, inconjunct, we got the nadir, we got the... That's all it means. And you talk about so many issues, they conflict with one another. It's a shit salad. I'm not here to do that. 4 tarot cards, 1 card in the middle, a very clean, clear, concise reading on energy. That energy needs to fit somewhere, and that's where the astrology and numerology comes in, because I use those things in an extremely simplistic way so that you understand the foundational energy that you're working through right now with your tarot energy. For example, the planet Pluto and Uranus were about in the same position when we signed the Declaration of Independence here in the United States of America, 1776, July 4. Just about in the same exact place. About a year or so ago, they were a little bit closer, but we're talking concepts. They are essentially in the same spot they were 250 years ago. Take a look at the country. Take a look at the world. Uranus, revolution. Pluto, evolution. Now, that's oversimplified descriptions, but it gives you the basic idea. What was going on in 1776 going on right now? And in fact, the French Revolution followed a little bit after the American Revolution, and even though the aspects were not quite the same, they were very similar, and you see what happened in France. The spirit of change, the spirit of evolving into something different needed revolutionary energy. And that's what we have right here. We know we have to change. We know we're going to change. The question is, will we have a damn thing to say about it, or are we going to be victims? Ooh. So with that, a little bit of astrological background, now let's talk about the tarot energy. And today, that little card in the middle, the oracle card, says, not for you. Now, if you just take it at face value, it means no, you can't have it. However, if you take the information I just gave you, that the astrological aspects, the big ones, that we're feeling now, we had about 250 years ago when America declared its independence. So now that not for you changes a little bit. Doesn't mean you can't have something. It means you don't want something. The power comes from you choosing. If you're just going to sit back, you're going to be a victim. They're going to kick your ass 6 ways a Sunday. You're not going to like it, but you ain't going to have a damn thing to do about it because you ran away from your responsibilities. On the other hand, if you take the idea of not for you, meaning I don't want it, that's a whole different power. That's a whole different energy. It's a whole different frequency. What you're looking for is an attitude reboot. Okay, so they've told me this line of crap all my life that I'm supposed to think this way, I'm supposed to feel this way, I'm supposed to be this way, I'm da 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 da. And if you do any kind of a research of history, you know that we've been lied to every step of the way. World War I was just a setup for World War II so that you could have the formation of Israel at the end. But that wasn't all. If you take a look at the years immediately following World War II, the world changed immensely. And a lot of bad stuff went underground, a lot of stuff that we're now finding out about. You take a look at the Fed, the big bank. It's part of the World Bank, may in fact be the critical part of the World Bank. The United States had to fight it 3 different times. Finally, the 3rd time, they killed people to be able to pull the deal off. And no sooner did they set up the Fed than they gave us the income tax because they needed the money from the people of the citizens of the United States to fund their crap. And as soon as they got all that, they got the Fed, private bank controlled by bankers. They give us the income tax, and then we have a depression. And And the story goes on and on. My point is this. We are at a critical point, and rather than taking the attitude, nah, I can't have it, I'm not good enough, the not for me changes to an attitude reboot saying, I don't want it. Here's the meme for today. Common people are going to believe anything if they're frightened. We've proven that time and time and time and time. You want to get something out of somebody, scare the shit out of them. You got them. So common people will believe anything if they're frightened. Take a look at what they did for COVID. Turns out the whole thing was a lie. However, critically thinking people, they're going to be looking for deception. They're going to peek behind the curtain. They're going to find the truth. They're going to look through the smoke screen of fear. So when we're saying, not for you, quit thinking like a fearful person. Listen to the critical thinkers. Because right now, that attitude reboot means more than you may realize. Very important stuff. By the way, the number up in the right-hand corner of the Oracle card is 6. 6 is home and hearth. It's harmony. It's stability. Kind of the early reorientation of what makes you secure, what makes you safe. Let's go all the way to the left. Let's take a look at the cards. 3 of Wands. Wands are positivity, excitement, joy, enthusiasm, gratitude. Part of this attitude reboot. And what these 3s always mean is a lining up of energy. Your mind, your body, and your spirit. That's the human trinity. Mind, body, spirit. All of those energies have to work together, pull together. And that's what this person is doing. You see the 3 wands. He's being grateful, being positive, being hopeful, being grateful, being positive, What he's doing is an attitude reboot. Because he's just come out of the next card, 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups, first of all, cups are things that we're emotionally attached to, almost addicted to, frankly. Certainly programmed for. Okay? From the time we're very young, we're taught how to love, what to love. And the 7 of Cups says, you don't know, you got too many damn choices in front of you. You want to mess somebody up? Phew, man, just give them choices. Everybody goes, I want choice, I want choice, I want choice. And choice is good to a limited degree. It's essential. It keeps the critical mind functioning. But they throw so much bullshit at us from so many ways, and they're lying every step of the way, so you think you got a bunch of choices that are all false. You can't talk about certain things in this country without getting into trouble. However, you can go to a donut store and get 57 varieties of donuts. That's what you think is freedom. I can have all the donuts. Look at all these donuts. You're missing the important stuff. You can't open up your mouth. You can't think for yourself. You can't question authority. You can't question the system. One of the first times that I really had to deal with this idea of too many choices, first time I went shopping with my wife, she wanted to get shoes, something, whatever. Back in the day, you would get newspapers delivered to your home. They'd have advertisements in them, and you look them over and you see if there's anything there of interest, and then you go out shopping because you knew what you were looking for. Men generally do that. They go to a store knowing this is what I'm looking for. Once they find it, they're gone. Women are not like that, I discovered. Oh, I like those red shoes. They look so nice. They're on sale. That's really good. Oh, good. Oh, good. You made up your mind. Yeah, but you know what? Those brown pair look pretty sharp, too. Same price, but they look pretty good. And then, of course, there's the blue pair. And in the end, my wife couldn't make up her mind. So I steered her back to her original choice. The problem with the many choices, though, is no matter what you choose, you're always dissatisfied. You're always unhappy because, I could have had this other one. Maybe I should have done this. Maybe. Attitude reboot. That kind of crap is not for you. Decide. Focus on what you need. Quit fear running your life. Now, there's going to be a change in attitude. You will have an opportunity if you choose it. Remember, tarot is potential. We got the Eight of Wands here. Eight of Wands talk about accelerated activity, moving quicker, new information, new possibility. You will see something that you did not expect come into your life. It'll be quick, unannounced, and it will be potential. Question is, what do you choose? Final card is the Queen of Swords. Whatever you choose, choose wisely. Swords are thoughts, ideas, beliefs. The Queen, very clever, very straight talking, and that's going to be the key. You know, we always yell about people lying to us, and that is true. But you know who is the biggest bullshitter in your life? You. You. You lie to yourself all the time. Now, that may be self-protective mechanism to a degree, I understand, but when it gets to delusion, you got issues. And usually what we see is based on what we fear. That's not for you anymore. That's not for you. You're going to have an opportunity to reboot your attitude. I don't know how it's going to enter your life, but there will be a possibility in the near term coming up where you can go, okay, I can plant my flag, I can drop anchor, I can depend on this, and then we'll build from there. That's very critical. The one thing is, be critical, be a critical thinker. Don't let fear guide you, because you're going down a deep, dark hole if you do that. And we've done that as a group, as humanity, for a long, long time. That kind of thinking, that kind of negativity, that kind of fear guidance, it's not for you. Get that attitude reboot. Don't pass up the opportunity. That is the tarot reading for today, the Tao Manifested reading. Thank you for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and share. People are around me telling me all the time to do that because of what's going on with the internet. They're jacking around with the algorithms. They're messing around. I would very much appreciate a like, a subscribe, maybe even a share. It's up to you. I will have another Tao reading for you coming up tomorrow. Hopefully we can get together. If not, between now and the next time you and I do tarot together, peace and blessings.